Everybody is a bag of virtues and defects. Nobody likes harboring within anger, greed, desire, hatred, envy. If our mind contemplates the defects of others, first of all, it's a poor reflection of our consciousness. And second, such contemplation only increases our own defects. This mind of ours is constantly creating thoughts. If we utilize that power in the proper direction, we can completely transform our life. But that same thought power, when misutilized, when left uncontrolled, can take us to the darkest depths. Maharaj Ji gives the example. He says, when you are eating, sometimes you get a kankar, a stone. Now what do? Do you say, ab aa gaya to aane do, kha lo isko? You are alert. Oh, what happened? There's a stone. Immediately you reject it. Why? It's not worthy of eating. If it goes inside, gadbad karega. So we are so careful when it comes to putting physical things inside. And with the thought process, we are careless. Harboring hatred, harboring envy, harboring resentment. Half the energies go in this. In the hatred, envy, resentment, fear. Now these are unwholesome thoughts. So first of all, we need to be aware. This thought is not good for me. When we are aware, we can then put our practice into action. And what is the practice to put into action? You practice the reverse thought. In other words, practice a thought to neutralize that thought. Supposing you have got the thought of pride, now what to do? Should we just accept it and let it go inside? If it does, it will dirty the inside. So you have to take immediate action. What is the immediate action? You take it out and throw it away. And you practice a thought of humbleness. Practice a reverse thought. Habits will be neutralized by reverse habits. A habit is extremely strong, and a habit has its own force. To break a habit requires tremendous force. When a rocket is shot into space by NASA, the first few seconds need the maximum fuel. This force of gravitation has to be broken with a tremendous force. Similarly, we all have the force of habits within ourselves. And these habits are material habits. Our repeated thinking has created these channels in the mind. And because we have lived in the world of Maya for all these ages, they are all material habits, unproductive habits. Negative thinking, blaming, procrastination. As somebody said, that there are those who say, when all the traffic lights become green, then I'll get out of my house. So they keep waiting. The travails of the material mind are numerous. We have to be very careful and we have to watch for them. So how do you watch for them? The thought that is beneficial will give you a bliss from inside. You will know it by the feeling of the thought. That thought will be uplifting. When you think a kind thought, a thought of austerity, a thought of sacrifice, a thought of renunciation, a thought of selflessness, a thought of service, the feeling the thought creates will let you know this is good for you. And when you think a deleterious thought, the thought will create a bad feeling within you. Whether it is something as gross as hurting others or something very subtle as just being selfish, the thought will have a different feeling. So the sadhak is one who is thought by thought checking out and careful, and then breaking the harmful thought habits with the beneficial thought habits. There's the story of Swami Vivekananda. He was going from Kolkata to Dakshineshwar. Now on the way it was night and it started raining. To take shelter from the rain, he entered a shop. It was a florist shop. The person had flowers there. There were also some fisher women who were returning, having sold their fish in Kolkata. Because of the rain, they at the same time reached the same shop for shelter. The shopkeeper was a kind person. He said, "All right, I'll give shelter to all of you. These women, they can come inside where the flowers are and they can sleep there. And you can leave your baskets outside in which you are selling the fish, and the Swamiji can sleep out here." Now Swamiji tried his best to sleep, but with those fish baskets by the side, he was completely suffocated. He said, "This is beyond my capacity." And the women inside also, they were trying their best to sleep, but there was the fragrance of the rose and the jasmine, etc. They are saying, "How suffocating, we just cannot find peace today." So finally they both came out and they discussed. They decided to swap places. Swamiji went inside and slept blissfully amongst the flowers. The fisherwomen, they sprinkled some water on their baskets and they said, "All is well again." Swamiji said, "Look how we human beings are governed by habits." They got habituated to the smell of the fish. I was unhabituated to it. They were comfortable in that position. I was uncomfortable in the same position. So Maharshi Patanjali said that you practice the reverse of negative thoughts to cut those negative thought patterns. Practice thinking good of others. Doesn't take a big deal, right? Practice giving them the benefit of the doubt. Practice thoughts of kindness. These are all wholesome thoughts. Whenever thoughts opposite to these arise, you cut them out by the reverse practice.
Retreat is a great way to energize your mind and soul.
This extraordinary opportunity is happening from June 5th, Friday evening to June 7th, Sunday evening. This program is designed for families. While adults are engaged in spiritual activities, the kids and youth, they have parallel sessions to enrich their minds. There will be plenty of opportunities to interact with Swamiji and get all your spiritual questions clarified. With like-minded people around, there will be so many activities to reinforce the learning in a fun, engaging way.
This is the first ever online retreat, so the seats are limited. In order to guarantee a seat, we urge you to go to jkyog.org/online retreat and register.